Hey everybody, it is LSID932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. If it is your first time here, this is the wedding episode, y'all. It's gonna be short and sweet, cause ain't not a daggone person got married. I'm wearing this veil, got all dressed up. Nobody got married. So let's get into it. If you are new here, welcome, welcome. I usually on wedding days wear this veil. It is not my actual veil from my wedding, but I wear this veil in solidarity to the wedding episode. And I feel like I've been duped. Okay. So we see the bachelor and bachelorette parties, and right now we only have three couples. We only have three couples. That's why they only spent 10 minutes of filming time showing us the bachelor and bachelorette parties. Now, here are the little points that I saw that I was like, I think I should mention this. KB says, hey, when you are married, you cannot run. You've got to stick with it and stay in it and fight. Megan says, the biggest thing is the lifestyle difference. She doesn't want to travel alone. And her friends say the biggest fear is that she fell for his kid and will say yes to him. And his kid has complicated her feelings. Allie, her friends say, he's a traditional man. He'll want to support the family. And then they laugh when saying, but he's going to do it on a budget. They sound like mean girls. Allie, your friends sound like mean girls. And, she says, hey, he's making good money. And the friends are like, sure. Yeah, sure. The fact that he was a truck driver was questioned. And Allie says, he talks about opening up a barbershop. And the friend is like, yeah, he has potential. But you have to also realize he could be a truck driver forever. What's wrong with that? That's a hardworking man. I don't understand what's wrong with that. But I guess that's not what she wants for her life. But they're all giggling, kiki. But, they're like, well, maybe you shouldn't listen to us because we are two about to be divorced women. Allie, I hope you're listening to who you're taking advice from. The other friends say, hey, marry him for who he is right now. Tomorrow, basically, they're saying isn't promised. So marry him for who he is today. And if he's better tomorrow, even better. Anton on his side says, is she high maintenance? Yes. Is she good with money? No. Does she cook and clean? No. I was like, daggone it, Anton. It's only 1 out of 3. He said, but there are things that he values more than all of that. So he will be a yes. Jordan does say in his to his friends that he is excited to get back to a normal house routine and live the American dream. As I told y'all, it's 10 minutes on this. It is the shortest ever we have done. Did we get a final date? Unless the stuff they did before was the final date before the wedding, but usually it's the bachelorette party. We get a final date and then we have the weddings, but I digress. So the first wedding is Allie and Anton's wedding. Allie said, she carries her dress in. If y'all have been here, and if you are not, let me tell you my pet peeve. In the international versions, they don't carry their bags in. Their suits and their dresses are in their suite, already on display in beautiful lighting. They walk in and it is gorgeous. They are not carrying their bags. So you're telling me that the US version, they don't have folks that could carry their bags and put this on display? They got to carry their own bags. That's my thing. It's your wedding day. You shouldn't have to lift a finger. She says his best friend's fiance gave her encouraging words this morning. Her mom does say she's scared because he drinks a lot of alcohol and her family doesn't drink. And Allie's like, wait a minute. I drink. I drink. She's like, well, not in excess like him. But Allie is like, hey, he deserves definitely some grace from us. But Mama says she really don't like it. Mom wishes the best for her. Okay. His mom does visit her. She visited him, but I'm doing all of Allie and then all of Anton. His mom comes in, wishes, the best for her and wants them to be happy and wants Allie to know that he is showing his soul and he has deep feelings for her. Her mom says we like him very much. The moms were really, really cool together. Okay. And her mom said, listen to your heart. Now her sisters arrive. And if you look at that third sister, she's the one that didn't want to come because she didn't smile a wink. She hugged her. Allie was really, really emotional. It's like, oh my God, I can't even hug you. And she ain't smiling. She says no matter what happens, she does not approve. I said, daggone it. What a way to have her enter her wedding. I don't approve. You're not her mama. Oh my gosh, go sit down somewhere. She says, but I want you to be happy no matter what the decision is. Okay, that sounds very superficial, but I'm going to leave it there. That's her sister, and I'll have a short for y'all about that interaction because I thought it was weird AF. Anton, okay, he said his fear today is her saying no at the altar. Now, his mom does come and see that his socks are mismatched. She said, forget about that. It's a good sign. Y'all, he nervous. He nervous that he ain't even pick up the same pair of socks, okay? So mom says, she, Allie, needs to appreciate you and not everything about you is counted in your pockets. Mama, you better say a word. The pockets are needed, okay? I'm not going to say the pockets aren't needed, but everything you are is not counted in your pockets. Your value is not in your pockets. She says, if she's a no, then that is your experience. If she's a yes, it's wonderful, and we'll welcome her into the family. Mom put no pressure on him at all, and I loved it. So he says he feels he's found his person. If he is her person, it remains to be seen. So at the wedding, her mom and her stepdad walk her down the aisle. They share their vows and how they started off with love in the pods. He talks about their love and the possibility of a future. She, on the other hand, she does say that, but she said, we have our disagreements and we both know what they are and we know enough to make a decision today. So they start off with Anton and he's a yes. Allie, on the other hand, says she cannot be his wife. The person from the pods is not the person she knows now. And she walks out, she apologizes and walks out. And she's crying, y'all. At the room, she is boo-hooing. Get me out of this dress. Get me out of this. Crying hard. Ma'am, you left him at the altar. Ma'am, I'm going to need you to calm down. You left him at the altar. She said she was hoping he would say no. And it doesn't, feel that he was honest about his drinking and his lifestyle when they were in the pods. And she feels shitty about being the one to walk away. Why, ma'am? If you gave your honest answer, why do you feel bad about it? That's your truth. Live in it. Anton, on the other hand, says it sucks. He loved her all the way from the pods. And y'all, he was really, really tore up, but he didn't really show any outward emotion. So I was like, Anton, are you really going to show your emotions at least somewhere else so you can let it out? The song they play is So Let Me Go. Interesting. Next up is KB and Edmund. KB says she's getting emotional on her wedding day. She sees a loving man. He is growing. He is stubborn, but he makes her feel loved. Her mom loves her some Edmund. She and the sisters were talking like, where's mom? Mom probably went to see Edmund because she loved her some Edmund. Now, we'll go to Edmund. He is ready to say yes. He cries in his suite. Her mom does go to see him and talks to him. She says she loves him. And, we find out his mom couldn't make it. His dad and his 5th grade teacher are there. He really wanted his mom to be there. And KB's mom just pours all into him. And she's like, hey, who is here is meant to be here for him. And it's not that mom didn't want to be here, but maybe things came up. But hey, she believes that he and KB can do this. Now we meet his 5th grade teacher, his guardian angel, as he calls her. This is the one that he said really saved him in school. And, she helped him with his grades. She helped him with meals when he was hungry. And she kept praying for him. It was really sweet to see this. And she did not look old enough to be anybody's 5th grade teacher. She looked like she just graduated out of, school to be a teacher. I mean, she looks like a mature lady, but daggone it, Edmund is grown in his 30s. She has got to be in her 50s. She looks good. She continues on to say that he changed her and made her the teacher she is today. He was dancing around in the class, but she realized with all his actions and activity, he was still listening to her teachings. And now she teaches kids like him who dance around the room, but still are learning. So his friends do visit before, and they also speak life into him. Now his teacher, who she did say before that she's like his second mom, she walks him down the aisle. She says, "You are a great human being and will do wonderful things." Now, her mom walks her down the aisle. And remember, she doesn't really have a relationship with her dad. Edmund, he says he loves her and has been praying for her all of his life. He wants her and the future they can have. KB says he has taught her so much and she loves the hell out of him. Now, they do ask Edmund first. He says, yes, 100%. KB starts to cry. And when she cries and shakes her head, he goes, "Oh!" He knew what was coming at that moment. And KB says she is not 100%, and he deserves someone who will be 100% at the altar. But she loves him. He is enough, but she has to honor the doubts that she has. Now, it's a sweet moment in that they walk out together hand in hand. They do. And she does talk to him further and say, "I'm not going to rule you out." But I said, KB, tell that man the truth. You ain't going to date him. You ain't going to date him after this. I'm sorry. I don't believe that. And if y'all do, it's going to fizzle out. Because again, Edmund, why do you want to be with someone who called you a B? I'm sorry. That's just my thoughts. But KB and her mom are later talking in the suite. KB says she hates that she hurts him, or she hurt him at the altar. And if he had said no, she would be miserable. So the mom is like, this ain't really adding up. I'm like, Mom, the math ain't mathing. If he had said no, you would be miserable. But because he said yes, you're still feeling bad. I just don't get it. So Mom said, hey, don't feel bad choosing you. Okay? It will hurt him more if she said yes and they were living a lie. I said, come on, Mama. Come on, Mama. It's like, be true to you and stand in your decision. That's the best thing you can do. And you said it very gently, KB. You did say your no very gently. You all walked out together. He is hurt, but I don't think you were really mean or anything with your no. I guess it's the same way people were looking back in the day with AD and Clay. Clay did say no. She was heartbroken and walked out, but at least you and Edmund walked out together. So Edmund is, outside, and his teacher goes to him, and the teacher's like, hey, God has other plans for you. Edmund is like, he was good to her. This was wonderful. And the teacher said something that rubbed me the wrong way. Okay, it rubbed me the wrong way. She's like, she wasn't a diamond. You deserve a diamond. Maybe she's a sapphire, but you deserve a diamond. I said, wait a minute. Maybe she's not a diamond for him. Why are you saying she's a sapphire? She ain't a diamond. I was like, you better get out my face, teacher. I liked you before. I liked you in the beginning, teacher. But now she may be a sapphire. She ain't a diamond. You devalue you. Okay? Don't devalue KB. Don't. That rubbed me the wrong way. The teacher rubbed me the wrong way with that. I understand what she's trying to say. But hey, KB's a diamond. She may not be Edmund's diamond. So he says, it's hard out here. This was his best chance to find love. And she's like, you're going to find somebody. You impact everyone in your life and you do shine. Get married to the right person so you don't divorce. She recounts that everybody was there for him senior year when he was a college athlete. She, reiterates to him, everybody down to the cooks in the school were there for him because of who he was and who he is. So I really love the teacher talking to Edmund and telling him exactly what he needed to hear in order to basically really, soothe him in that moment. And I really appreciate that, except for the comment about KB. Keep her name and her value and gemstone out of your mouth, teach. Please, don't do that. And y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Put it in the comments below. Tell me if I'm wrong. So next up, we see Jordan and Megan. They're on the couch. It didn't even look like the apartment that they share. So I'm like, is that her apartment? Is that her place? Because it looked different. So she says, he's a simple guy, and he's like, yeah, he just wants to earn and provide for his family. She's like, he could be in a different position 1, 2, 3 years from now, but she should not feel like this going into her wedding. And then she corrected herself saying, our wedding. She says, sorry for not having more compassion for him, given what he needs in a fiance. But she cannot do this. She loves him, but cannot go to the altar and put them both through this. She also apologizes and say, hey, She did not love him the way he deserved, and they're both crying. Now, Jordan's silent cry, that really hurt me. That really hurt me. He was just sitting there, and the thug tears were just leaking out of one eye. I was like, ooh. The song they're playing, it says, special to me. She thanked him for introducing her to his son, and she understands it's not only him she's saying no to. He doesn't have much to say. He says he got to pick up his son from school. Jordan's like, I'm done. Where do I leave? I need to go get my son out of school and go on with my life. Thank you very much and goodbye. So in his confessional, he says they are not so different. It's just their lifestyles that are different. She has enough money to never work again in her life. And he believes if he had money and didn't really have to work, that they would be getting married. The producer asks, do you have any regrets? He says his regret is introducing her to his son. I said, daggone it. Is the experiment really good for single parents and their kids? Is it really good? And y'all, I intentionally don't mention his son's name because I think the children, didn't sign up for this. So I don't even mention his son's name. But is this really good for single parents? Because the kids are involved. Kids may have to be in the wedding and filmed. There's another parent to consider. I don't know. So Megan says she learned in the excitement of him being a single father in the pods, that is what drew her to him. But she didn't realize how challenging it was and the changes needed in her life. She says maybe she's not cut out to be a stepmom. Then she says maybe she's not cut out to be a mom. She says maybe she's too caught up in her own life and she wants to find love. That's what she came for. And she found that because she will always love Jordan. But she also came to find her partner. And Jordan is not that partner. Okay? Y'all, they don't even do exit interviews with everyone. At the end, you usually hear a montage of what each person has to say. They don't give us that. They do a recap of the whole experience from the pods. We get little snippets of all the people and their experiences and an overlap. You hear in the background Ali and Anton's, wedding officiant saying, love is a choice. Love is something you choose every day. And love is made up of all the experiences of today and the future. And I was like, I don't want to hear him or her or whoever it was. I can't remember them. I need to hear each person and what they took away from this experiment. But y'all, we find out that the reunion is next week, Wednesday at 9 p.m. EST. If you made it this far, let me know if we should do a live watch of the reunion of Love is Blind Denver. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.